All right, guys, welcome to the channel, Adventures with Scuba Steve. So I've been watching a lot of YouTube gurus, and I've been kicking around this idea that, I should start this channel, and, I'm getting, close to retirement. I got a few years left, but, thinking about kind of transitioning and, what I want to do. And I just love this idea of, talking about my life and my experiences, and who knows, maybe it'll resonate with some of you out there. And one of the things they talk about on all these YouTube professionals and people that are successful at it, and they talk about just start, just press record, just start, and the other thing they say is talk from the heart, just maybe it'll resonate with somebody. And so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to talk about what this channel is going to be about and what I want to do with it. And it's just something, kind of a side hustle for me and something fun. And so I just turned 60 last year, turning 61 in a couple weeks actually. And that's the other thing they talk about is when you get to this age, there's a lot of experience that I could share with people, and that might resonate with a lot of you folks out there. And they're saying that when you get in your 40s, 50s, 60s, there's a lot of opportunity out there for this age group, and things that we think about, and we're thinking a little different, right? And so I thought, heck, I got a lot to share, and I think this will be super fun. And so I think that's what I'm going to do. And so I'm here today in Newport Beach. I'm on my little baby yacht, the Bula. Side note, the reason I call it the Bula is I took a trip down to Fiji, one of our Adventures with Scuba Steve trips. And down there, they're the friendliest people on the planet. And their greeting is Bula. And they would come up to me every day and they would say, Bula Steve, Bula Steve. And it was so ingratiating, and it was just like touched my heart. And, I was kind of struggling with a name. My wife wanted to call my boat the Doghouse. But anyway, I came up with the Bula, and I love it. And when I welcome people on the boat, I say, welcome aboard the Bula, and it just brings back wonderful memories of being in Fiji and the wonderful people down there. So this channel is going to be about living life, to the fullest. And my wife will tell you that I started my midlife crisis in my 20s. I mean, most guys, in their 40s, 50s, whatever, are having their midlife crisis. And I started a little young. And I've always had this attitude, you only live once. And these are a lot of cliches, and it's like, but it's so true. I'm very acutely aware of the short period of time we have on this planet, and how we really just have to live our life to the fullest. And at 60 years old, I have no regrets. I mean, it's a great place to be. And maybe I haven't done everything the right way, but I like I said, I don't have any regrets. So at this point, I would say I've done things the right way, because I'm in a great place. I have a wonderful family. I have a beautiful wife, and my boys, I love them. And so I'm in a great place. And maybe some of the things I share might resonate with some of you guys, and maybe some younger people can learn. Who knows? I've been a scuba diving instructor for 20 years, coming up in October. And it's, in fact, today I was out teaching I had one student in Corona Del Mar out here, and her name is Teresa, and we did a underwater navigation class, and I'm so fulfilled by that. I guess if I had a career to do over again, I would probably teach because I love it so much. Unfortunately, fortunately, I went, for the money, whatever. I mean, God dang. But it's just so, I just get so much joy out of it. And just, when students, their face lights up, it's so, wonderful. And so I did that today, and, I'm kicking back on the boat and just enjoying, life. And I love teaching, and it's one of my passions, and the other thing is I'm teaching something that I love to do. And as Adventures with Scuba Steve, we've been doing these trips for going on 13 years. We started in 2013, and we've been at this point all over the world, and we're coming up on a trip to Bali in October, and man, wow. It's just, sometimes I have to pinch myself. It's like, wow. It's pretty amazing, when I think back on all the, destinations that we've gone to and all the bucket list trips that we've done. And it's unreal, it really is. And I'm just blown away by, the opportunity. And really what it comes down to is the group, the group of people that, we've been so fortunate to be a part of, and they've kind of followed me with my dream. And God, it's just absolutely incredible. And so we have this trip coming up, and I'm going to take my cameras down there, my drone, and we're gonna share that with everybody on this channel, YouTube channel. And let's have a good time with it. And that's my plan. So that's kind of, what I'm doing. And I'm going to really, this channel is going to be about stuff that I'm interested in, that, I enjoy, talking about, basically. I'm going to talk about things that, maybe some product reviews. I'm going to talk about diving. I'm going to talk about traveling. I'm going to talk about all kinds of, interesting things, that I love, and hopefully, you guys will dig it. We'll see what happens, and we'll just, go with it, run with it, and see what happens, So there's a song by John Mellencamp that I was just listening to. I want to live the real life, just because I'm middle-aged, I don't want to sit around on the couch and watch TV, and it just resonates, and I love that song. And it's not that I'm sitting on the couch and watching TV, and I'm living my life. I want the real life, and for me, I'm living the real life for me, and the real life for you might not be the same kind of life that I'm living, but I want to encourage and hopefully inspire you guys to live your real life, whatever that is. Maybe for you it is sitting on the couch and watching TV and relaxing. For me it's adventure. It's always been about adventure. It's always been about being outside, and I get bored pretty damn easily, unfortunately, and I drive my wife crazy. I'll admit that. And it's just, I want to have a good time, and I want to be out there and feeling like I'm really just, living. And, I've done that. But here it is. I'm 60, turning 61. Life is not over. I got a lot of years left. And I plan on, living the real life just like I have been. And I'm going to talk about, the pending retirement in a few years. I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about the things that I struggle with, some of the things that you guys might be struggling with, and we'll see. And feel free to leave comments and tell me what you guys, your feedback, and let's talk about it. Let's talk about it, because I think there's a lot of guys out there, there's a lot of people out there that are like me, maybe in the same position that I'm in. And I'm telling my wife, I'm semi-retired. I mean, I'm not retiring from my day job. I'm enjoying what I do. I do well with it at this point in my life. So I'm not looking to, give it up at this point. But one thing I want to do is I want to step up the semi-retired part of it. I'm going to step up the weekend warrior part of it. And I don't see a lot of that on YouTube. I see, okay, how to retire early, or, talking about, that kind of thing, but I don't see a lot of like, hey, let's, keep the day job, and let's, do what, be responsible, whatever. And, I mean, there's so many, variables to that. And so I'm going to talk about that, and let's talk about it, like I said. And I just think this is going to be super fun, and I'm kind of I get excited thinking about it, and thinking about doing these videos. And let's do this. All right, that's a kind of a saying I always when I'm on these trips. Let's do this, and I'm here for it, and let's have some fun with it. So I'll be posting a few videos here and there, and I'd like you guys to join, and join me on our adventures. Like I said, we're going to Bali, so I'm going to be filming from there and posting, and so follow me around the world, and hey, join us on our trips, for crying out loud. If you haven't been on Adventures with Scuba Steve trip, you gotta do it, for crying out loud. You gotta do it. All right, so sign up for one of these trips. Follow us on our Facebook page, and we got pretty cool following. I mean, it's not like thousands of people, but you know what? These people are, we call it our dive family. These people we love. They're lifelong friends. I mean, God, that's what it's all about. It's not about quantity. It's about, quality. It's about, the relationships. That's what it's about. Okay. In the end. Right. And so, get out there and join us and follow us, and have a good time with me, man. I mean, this is what life's all about. You gotta love. You just gotta, live it, and live the real life, right? All right. So we'll see you guys on the channel. All right. Follow me. All right. Let's do this.